Richard Rawlings, from fast and loud to cold and silent, the fall of a legend. Once hailed as the roaring face of American car culture, Richard Rawlings was the larger-than-life personality behind the hit show Fast and Loud and the iconic Gas Monkey Garage. With charm, charisma, and an undeniable love for muscle cars, he built an empire on wheels and on trust. But that empire has now collapsed. What began as a routine IRS audit in late 2023 quickly spiraled into one of the biggest automotive fraud cases in U.S. history. Initially, it looked like minor accounting discrepancies at Gas Monkey Garage, simple clerical mistakes. But investigators soon uncovered a much darker reality. Behind the scenes, a web of deception was being unraveled. At the heart of the case was VIN tampering on a shocking scale. Richard Rawlings was accused of altering vehicle identification numbers on dozens of classic cars, making them appear to be rare, ultra-valuable collector's editions. These cars were then sold for millions through his garage and on national television. But they weren't real. They were fakes, flawlessly disguised, beautifully packaged lies. In court, prosecutors showed before and after footage of vehicles sold through Gas Monkey. The transformations were so convincing that even seasoned collectors had been fooled. Fake documents, counterfeit build sheets, false ownership histories, every piece perfectly designed to pass scrutiny. And pass it did, for years. Rawlings, it was revealed, had turned restoration into forgery. He wasn't just fixing old cars, he was manufacturing legends. Testimonies from former employees painted a grim picture. A restricted area inside the garage, off-camera and off-limits, was used to carry out the VIN alterations. Only Rawlings and a trusted few had access. Prosecutors called it the nerve center of the fraud. And the fraud ran deep. A European buyer testified via video that he paid $1.2 million for what was sold as a factory-raced 1967 Shelby GT500. But a simple insurance check revealed the truth. It was a standard Mustang, worth a fraction of the price. "I thought I was buying a piece of American history," he said. "Instead, I bought a lie." Emails and phone calls presented in court proved Rawlings personally vouched for the car's authenticity, sealing the charge of wire fraud. Over 40 vehicles were discovered with altered VINs, generating over $14 million in fraudulent profits. Then came the final blow. In the Northern District of Texas Federal Courthouse, Courtroom 4A was packed. The air was thick with anticipation. When Judge Alanir Simmons delivered the verdict, guilty on all counts, the room fell silent. Richard Rawlings was sentenced to 15 years in federal prison, with no possibility of parole for the first 10. He was also ordered to pay $26 million in fines and restitution. The moment was surreal. Rawlings didn't cry. He didn't shout. He simply collapsed. His head hit the courtroom table before falling to the floor. EMTs rushed in. Cameras were cut. Witnesses stood frozen in disbelief. His once bold spirit, seen in every episode of Fast and Loud, was gone. As he was stretchered away, an oxygen mask on his face, veteran courthouse officer Raymond Wilkins put it simply. When that sentence drops and you realize your life is over, something inside just snaps. The fallout was swift. Discovery Channel terminated its contract. Sponsors vanished. Auction houses issued warnings. Car collectors worldwide began questioning the authenticity of their prized vehicles. Investigations spread like wildfire across the industry. Rawlings' empire wasn't just built on cars, it was built on belief. And when belief dies, everything else falls apart. What began as passion turned into deception. What started as storytelling became a con. The fame of Fast and Loud gave Rawlings the credibility he needed to pull it off. But in the end, it became his downfall. The Gas Monkey Garage is now silent. No engines roar. No cameras roll. Just the echo of what used to be. Richard Rawlings is no longer a TV icon. He is inmate number 4926, stripped of fame, stripped of freedom. Even when he walks free again, he will never truly return. Because some legacies can't be rebuilt. Not with money. Not with apologies. Not with charm. He didn't just alter VINs. He altered trust. He sold dreams, but they were dreams built on lies. And when the fast fades, and the loud dies down, only truth remains. Truth and consequences.